in starting anything great, when there's a lot of lack between you and where you want to be, right? Self-belief tends to be low because self-belief is very much rooted in yourself. It's a result of continuous discipline, taking action, and prior experience. Your self-belief increases when you can stack evidence of previous, results, showcasing that you can do what you say you are supposed to do, right? And I think where that's very difficult is taking action in the beginning of starting something, right? Hitting the gym for the first time and continuously doing that despite not seeing results in the beginning and not knowing if you are even capable of doing that. What does it take, and what is the thing that allows the greats, all in any domain, right, to, despite not having results and despite the self-belief, because I don't think it's self-belief, right? I wanted to know exactly what is that thing. And I think it's faith, right? Self-belief is very much rooted in oneself. It is, self-belief, right? It is the belief in oneself because of prior experience, discipline, results. But what happens if you don't have any of those things? How do you continuously take action? Self-belief is that I've got this. The faith is a lot more like, even if I don't, I know God or the universe does. And I think it's rooted in something greater than oneself. And I think if you believe that you were born for something bigger, right, with this purpose, this deep purpose, and it's rooted in the service of others, that is when you make change, true, utter worldly change. That's when you will move mountains, right? Is when you're in service of others. And when you believe that you were born with this thing and you were anointed by God to do so, then nothing can stop you, despite not having results, despite taking continuous action with no fruits to show for it. I think we all know the only way to really fail in building a business, in really achieving any goal, right, is to just give up. And if one just does not give up, well, then there is no fail, right? Because success lies in the trying, in the pursuing. We desire the desire, not the desired, right? And so I think living in a state of chasing one's goals, that's what we want. And don't let self-belief or the lack of results withhold you from getting to a point where you do have some results. And I think that should be expected. That's part of entrepreneurship. That's part of life. That is it, right? All right, so my monthly supplements have arrived. I want to show you guys what that is. Everything is bought on Faithful to Nature, so shout out Faithful to Nature. While I open this, I want to briefly just talk about my current philosophy around supplementation, right? I think everybody puts a lot of emphasis on this, which I don't really get, right? I think we should stop supplementing for the sake of supplementation and start supplementing for the sake of deficiency. If you need 20 different supplements every single day, I want to challenge you on the quality of your actual diet and lifestyle, bro. Like, I'll show you guys how much supplements I'm currently drinking, and I really think, I'm really trying to minimize this, right? I think this is the minimum you'll need and the maximum that I want, right? I want to make sure that I'm, the less you could drink, the better, right? Why do you want to enslave yourself to certain pills every day, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting everything as much as possible in through my lifestyle and my diet first, and then through supplementation, right? So, as you guys will see here, got some natural shampoo. Forgot I ordered that as well. But I think only got, I know tomorrow a couple more things are coming. But right now, we got some creatine, okay? 15 grams of this at the moment I'm drinking right now. There's a lot of cognitive function studies and benefits that they are seeing in studies that's coming out. So creatine, you can't get enough of that through your diet, right? So magnesium is another one, a beautiful, beautiful magnesium supplement. This has all three of them in. L-theanate, glycinate, and then malate. This is about 230 grams of magnesium elemental, I think, milligrams magnesium elemental. So I'm getting the rest that I need. You need about 450 grams, right? Or milligrams? Milligrams. I get the rest in my diet. So yeah, just magnesium is so important to get in. I supplement that, right? And then lastly, omega-3 fatty acids, right? This is the best one that I found. Get this brand. In my opinion, they are the best. BioMax, Pures, omega-3, everything I get on Faithful to Nature. And then I think that's that, right? Yeah, I think the rest, I still drink vitamin D3, and there's one more, Silogit and sea moss. But those two you don't really need a drink if you are getting high quality, red meat in. But yeah, if you're not getting high quality red meat, it's just a good multivitamin essentially. So yeah, this is what I'm drinking, and this came today. Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, and what a beautiful, beautiful morning it is, right? Spending it sun gazing, first thing in the morning, right? Crucial, as you guys know me. But yeah, while I do that, I thought I'd just quickly unbox the last bit of supplements that I do have, which came this morning. As I mentioned yesterday, there's still a couple that had to come, and just so that I can show you guys what I'm drinking, right, on a day-to-day. So, got our vitamin D3 here. It's about 10,000 IUs that I'm drinking, which is quite a lot. Some people would say. I would, I would definitely not think that's a lot. But yeah, we've got our Silogit as well, that I take as well in the morning with my coffee. What's in this one? Ooh, fragile. Let's see here. Oh, this is sea moss. I think this is sea moss. Sea moss in here, right? So I'm drinking sea moss as well every day. This and the Silogit is some supplements you guys might not have heard of. It's just extremely dense in minerals, right? So very, very nutritious. Has a lot of nutrients in, or minerals, right? And so if you look at, for example, Silogit, which comes from the Himalayan mountains, that's above the ocean. And if you look at sea moss, that it comes from sea moss, right, which is in the oceans. That's under the ocean. I love that. Getting minerals from both above and below the ocean is amazing, right? It's a very good idea. You want to eat animals and things that are on land, but there's also in the ocean, right, to have both of those biomes. Anyways, this is how I start my day, just in the sun, getting some sun in my eyes, right, telling my body to wake up. You feel amazing. Touch the grass. And then I'm going to get straight back to work. We've got some exciting things happening today. I've always heard people saying, entrepreneurship is tough. This is tough, that's tough. And when I was doing it, I'm like, yeah, it's tough, but what do they mean by tough? And that's exactly what it is. It's that continuous, it's operating out of a continuous state of unknown. And you don't know. I have faith that it will work out, but I don't know. And I need to somehow make peace with the fact that I'm operating out of a place of unknown. And I believe the best way to do that is to believe in God, right? Is to believe there's a higher power guiding you, and you are anointed to take action. So that's the idea that I am meditating on this week. Excuse the funny look. It's extremely cold here, but I just finished jumping off a call with a client from our school community finance acquisition. He is looking to start a school community as well, an info product for his business. He has a fingerstyle guitar business where he teaches people how to play guitar, and I'm extremely excited to help him build that out, right? Because that's what we've been building. So I can tell him exactly what we've been doing for the past year and 2 months so that he doesn't have to make all those mistakes. Because believe me, you make a shit ton. And that's part of the benefit of having mentorship, right? I would say the main benefit is you exchange money for time. That's just all it is, right? And the time as in all the mistakes that they have made, you do not need to make right now. We for example, one problem we sat with was how to book meetings, right? We sat with that problem for 4 months. He doesn't have to solve that problem because we know exactly what to do now. So we saved him 4 months. How valuable is 4 months to you, right? That's the question you need to start asking yourself. You can do all this stuff on your own. It's just going to take you longer. And I would even argue that because it takes longer, less people will be able to do it on their own. If it's going to take you 3 years to do it on your own without mentorship, how many people can pursue through friction and through failure for 3 years straight without seeing results? Probably not a lot of people. And that's why everyone that you see that is successful at a young age has extremely good mentors, right? We aren't special or great, right? It's just that the people we've learned from is, okay, or just further down the line, they actually also not that great, right? Like Chris Williams actually said that it's idiots to the top, right? Like even him, all the people that he looked up to, he realized when he actually met all of them, and he's top of the food chain now, right? Is he said that everyone is idiots to the top. No one knows what they're doing. Obviously, some people just know a bit more about certain topics, right? But yeah, you get the point. So
With the free community, how I have it set up right now is basically in order to get access to the classroom with all of my tabs and stuff, they have to first like do like an introduction post because like there's like nobody doing anything. Like I had a start here thing with like telling them to introduce themselves and nobody introduced themselves. So I'm like, okay, you have to introduce yourself and then I'll open up the modules. I don't know if that's a good idea or if I should just remove that so it's like kind of less friction and people can just get immediate access.
The beginning is terrible, bro. I know it's terrible. Remember, people join, but they join for the community, but there's no community, right? Like, yeah.
Exactly.
So now they're joining, and they don't even be the first person to comment. So Andrew and I, we both of us post 2 essays a week.
Okay.
That's mandatory for us. Because especially in the beginning, it was only us posting in the fucking thing, bro, for like so long.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that at least showed there's movement, right? And then some people would
Right.
comment on it. And then some people will, one a guy introduced himself, and then Andrew and I was like, fuck yeah, like that's our first guy. I think majority of the posting is going to come from your end for a very long time. So looking back on it now from a place of like, 3.7 people in now, K people in now, we don't
Yeah.
really, we've removed the levels to get access to go through the some of the modules just because
Uh-huh.
some people come in and go out so quick. Like,
Yeah.
let me just actually completely, like 100% have a look right
Yeah.
now. I would do it to be leveled like this. And then I'll just,
Okay.
to get to level 2, you literally just need to make introduction post and comment on someone's thing. Like, that's
Uh-huh.
so easy. And then you get
Right.
unlocked to these modules. So what I would do
Okay.
is I would create a start your module or welcome to fingerstyle guitar, school.
Yeah.
And then maybe even do it in the start year module. Then you explain to them, if you want to get all the free knowledge or the free modules, comment and introduce yourself so the people in the community can know who you are. And then you got access to all of this information.
Sweet. I really appreciate it, man. I'll
Yeah,
keep you updated.
it's a pleasure, bro.
Thanks for everything.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen. I love doing this every single morning. I'm walking outside in the sun if the sun is out, trying to stay at the sun gazing, right? Getting light information in my eyes, waking up. And then I'm also answering all my messages on my phone. So I'm walking, getting the body moving. I'm in nature and I'm getting, all the messages answered. And, while I'm walking through this, I'm getting a lot of ideas, right? My mind is very fresh. It's very like I'm just out of that dream state, right? So, for example, this morning a client of mine, Shane, like he just started running ads, and so there's some problems with his bank. The card is keep on getting declined, and so the ads aren't really working well. And the beautiful part of having a community, right? Just quickly gave him a little call. This has happened to me and Andrew multiple times, right? So, sort of standard procedure, like stuff like this will happen, right? You got this beautiful idea in your business, just gonna need to form the ads, run the ads, sign clients, and then boom, I'm rich, right? But in between that, there's always shit happening. You just need to solve those problems. And Andrew always says, the faster you can go from a friction point to solution, that is what differentiates between successful people and people that don't make it, right? And so now, pause the ad, go to the bank, figure out what the fuck is going on, right? And then get the ad back running, right? It's a normal thing. So, gave him that reassurance. And because he, has a community of people that's doing the same thing, he now doesn't have to act out of that fear and doubt, right? And he can just go and get that solution as fast as possible. And he knows what the solution is, right? So that's amazing. And then also with our sales team, right? I just got this idea while I'm standing here, right? It's like all the people, and this is the thing, right? If you're selling a product that you hopefully have a solution for, right? The people that we getting meetings booked, right? But we need to get them across the line. And the main thing is, right, is people have a pain point. They're here for a need and they believe we have the solution. And I know we have the solution. We just need to get them across the line through their fear and doubt. And whatever they need, we need to make sure that they have that, whether that be testimonials or whatever. And,
I think we should position it differently, right? And you should bring that aura and that energy to the call. When you're there in the DM, sending them, when you're on the calls, closing them, you should approach it as it's a privilege for them to be on this call, right? Because it is. They got a solution and a problem, and you've spent thousands of hours, right? Probably not thousands, but hundreds of hours building this product, going through the problems that they are still wanting to go through and still are going through or whatever, right? You have the solution to what they're looking for. And so you just need to work through their fear and doubt. But you know that if you know that your product is going to work for them, you need to get them across the line. And I think bringing that energy and that aura, right, that vibes to, everything is vibes, right, to the call is so important. And you as a founder and as a leader needs to, bring that to the team. And so, yeah, I felt that this morning, and so I shared that to the team, and very excited. I'm forming a module today. The module I'm forming this week for the community is, training programs. How to actually build one and giving them 4 different ones for 4 different, I call it archetypes, right? The bodybuilder, the vitality vessel, the hybrid athlete, and I think it's a mobility vessel, right? So 4 different training programs. I'm going to break that down in my module right now, and I'll also give you guys a snippet of that as well. Right, so I just finished up filming a module for Finance Acquisition about training programs, right? How to create your own training program. Also gave the people 4 different training programs that they can go ahead and utilize, right? And I would highly recommend everybody to focus on doing the high leverage, big moving blocked activities in the morning first thing, right? So now that I know I finished the main activity for the day, technically if things fall in front, or come up, right? I at least focused on the main thing that had to be done, so that if I need to put out fires, jump on calls with clients or whatever, I can do that knowing that the business is moving forward. Because we tend to try and focus on putting out all the fires, getting all the problems out, communicating with people, jumping on emails, whatever. And then when we look again, we're already tired, already fatigued, right? After the gym, it's like 3, 4, 5 p.m. And then you need to doing high leverage activities. That's tough, man. So focus on doing the most important work first thing in the morning. Okay, so while I'm busy with it, I might as well show you guys. This is how I prep my chicken, or at least try to every week, right? Like I think, people tend to think, oh, it's so time efficient to, or it takes a lot of time to make your own food. But if you batch it, it's actually fairly quick, right? Like this is about 3-4 days-ish worth of chicken, right? Fairly easy. I'll make it fairly quickly as well. Like I'm heating the pan up right now. I'm gonna throw up some olive oil in there, chuck in about half of these. It's already spiced. It's probably gonna finish in the next 20 minutes with all of this, and then I'll just keep it in the fridge whenever I need it. And then in the morning, I take about 220 grams of this chicken, and this will keep me for about 4 days. I'll just do it again when it's finished. And when it comes to the spicing, you don't need to do anything like special. I usually just really do like sea salt. You got some pepper, just normal pepper, and then I usually throw some of this like garlic and herb, which is pretty good. That's about that. You don't do anything special. It's busy happening on the pan right now, and No, I did not just wake up, okay. I'm actually already breaking my fast, which means it's around 1 p.m. But I am working from home, and that's part of the privileges of doing so, is being able to wear whatever you want, right? It's cold outside. I do my gym clothes under here. I'm breaking my fast, high fat, high protein, low carb as always. I'm eating more easy digestible type of meat, like chicken, for example, white meat, right, compared to steak. I'm not eating a steak now because it's heavy on the digestive system, right? And when you're lifting weights, like I'm doing hypertrophy focus training, weight training today, which I'm very excited for. Yesterday I did an 8-kilometer run with Udelia. Legs are very fatigued, so I'm excited to get a pump going now.
But yeah, I'm eating this an hour and a half before I go to the gym, and it's easy on the digestive system. It is quite a lot of volume. It's around 800 calories. But yeah, it's going to fuel me for the workout. And an idea I also want to, drive forward in this segment, right, is the idea of, info products. The idea of it's not a lack of resources that's holding you back. It's a lack of resourcefulness, being able to tap into that what you do have, right? We tend to justify our lack of results to things that we don't have externally. Yet I can tell you right now, it's a lack of being able to tap into what you have internally that allows you to miss the opportunities of your external factors, right? Or environmental situation, right? As an example, we spoke about this with the team this morning. Andrew is part of the best testimonials for each info product that he has joined, right? But the industry standard for a good info product, right, of course, is 5% success rate. So does that mean Andrew has been part of 3 communities, 5%, right? So that doesn't mean it's not, the only consistent variable there is Andrew, right? It's not the product. So, you can argue that some info products or courses, right, it's almost irrelevant. It comes down to the individual that is willing to make it happen. Are you willing to make whatever's in front of you work to get to your goal, right? Andrew just wanted to make it happen more than anything else. And so despite being in a course, whether modules were good or not, he was going to make sure that those modules, is going to work for him or benefit from them, right? And I want to convey that to you guys. It's like, you don't have to be special. You don't have to have all this money or good, like great situation at home with parents or all these things, right? When you can tap into being resourceful and just making it happen above all else, it's literally just that. It seems so mundane and so cliche and ever, like, you know what I mean? But that's essentially what it is, right? So yeah, it's not a lack of resources, but a lack of resourcefulness that's holding you back. God does not call the qualified, right? I believe God qualifies the call. It's like you get qualified for the position or the dream while you are pursuing to it, right? For you to get to the dream, it's not like you need to be born with this talent or that situation was, no, it's like the people that are talented or are exceptional decided they will be so, right? It's like someone will be the exception. It might as well be me. And I've decided that I will be the exception. And so life has formed that version of itself around me. And I truly believe there is no seeking greatness without a sense of a little bit of delusion, right? And ignorant faith. Ignorant faith is 100% the thing, right? Is believing despite not knowing. That is it. I believe that the doubt and the fear is a signal. It's not a sign that you are in the wrong direction, right? I think it's in many ways, if your dreams do not stretch your faith, if it doesn't cause a bit of doubt or fear, you're not dreaming big enough. It needs to stretch your faith. One should not be afraid of the fire. One should walk through the fire. Like that's a necessary thing, right? You have to walk through the fire. I think the trials and tribulations is like, you need to walk through the fire. You're right. You can't walk around it. You can't walk over it. You can't run under it, or you need to walk through it. You need to go through that friction. You need to go through that suffering, that doubt, that fear, because on the other side of that is the version of you that you're working towards. Without the suffering and the fear and the doubt, there cannot be a confident man. If you are praying to God to be a great man, well, He's going to give you a lot of opportunities to show up as one, right? A lot of moments that needs you to be courageful, right? Or show up with some courage. You don't get to become the man or have the goal without proving your trust in the process. You want these great things, yet you give up at the first feeling of doubt and fear. That is exactly why you will not get it. You need to pursue through that, right? Faith without works is dead. But the inverse is true as well. Works without faith is dead. Because how long can you continuously work without faith? And so I want to leave you guys with this idea. Knowledge without action is meaningless. And faith is what fuels action when nothing is guaranteed. I pray that the Lord will give us the courage to burden the suffering that comes with achieving something great. So I just got off a call with some of the clients in the consulting business. Oopsie, if I tripod as well. And what I realized was, right, I was on the call for about 50 minutes speaking specifically with one of the clients, right? After the call, I realized like, yo, this was amazing, right? And so much purpose felt, it was just such a great feeling, right? Because I really knew I helped the client and they were happy, I was happy. It was just a really full circle moment. And I thought back on starting out this, community and everything, and I was thinking like, oh, do I have what it takes? I had so much doubt and fear in my abilities to deliver in what I was trying to build, right? That fear and doubt is, something that will kill 99% of people's dreams, right? And if I was to give into that fear and doubt, I would have never been where I am right now. And that's a big thing, right? Is I think anyway, or with anything you do and start off with, there is some doubt and fear. Can you do it, right? And rightfully so. You probably don't really know. But the more I've done this, the more I have grown, the more my conviction has grown in my ability to serve my clients. And that's a piece of advice that I want to give to everyone watching this, is if you are afraid and fearful and doubtful to start something new, just know that feeling is normal and it's probably justified because you probably don't know what you're doing. But if you don't start now and take action, you will never know what you're doing, right? So it's inevitable, no matter where you go or whatever you start, if it's new, you're going to have that doubt and fear. So you might as well pursue through it now while you are young. And I promise you, three months down the line, you already feel better. And 6 months down the line, it's only a year and 3 months now, right? Only now I'm really like, okay, I got this, right? But that's how long it took me, right? It doesn't have to take you that long. But yeah, you will get there on the end of the day. But if you don't give it a go and if you don't start, you will never get there. So, yeah.
So
I wanted to ask you a whole bunch of questions before we go there. If we can go back quite a bit and then go and re-step it.
Yeah.
But there's also something that I want you to just put in your mind, and we can bank it for later. But the company is launching a brand new product, and it should be out around about November. And so we can also capitalize on that launch. But I don't want to do too much. I want to try and keep this simple and get up and running and get some really good clients on board so that we can also get the agency part going as well. And so just to put it past you and just see if it's something that we shouldn't get distracted on this, or we should take it and start running with it alongside whatever we're doing.
I actually think that's what's wonderful timing, right? The new product. And I think you guys can bank off of the launch and excitement that comes with this, right? The ideal situation now is we get you guys 3 influencers that push out health products. With their marketing, they're going to bank off of the collagen event, right? For you guys, it's still going to be getting the influencers. It's not really going to be getting all the material, like pushing out collagen now as the new big thing. Like, that's not necessarily what we're going to be leading towards, right? We can definitely utilize, and I'm definitely one to optimize the Instagram and for the posting, right? Like, I think for the post, we can definitely add that to come back to establishing authority of the product.
Thank you, Quentin.
We chat soon. Okay. Cheers.
Hundreds.
Bye-bye.
Okay, cheers.
So in my recent Instagram community that I created, I posted something where I said basically, I feel like I think better while I'm walking, and unintentionally, I'm busy walking right now as I'm speaking, right? So yeah, go join that community in the Instagram. It's where I'm just sharing a lot more like personalized information, right? And this exact segment that I'm going to speak about right now, I already posted in there. But yeah, it's essentially the idea of getting this vlog out, and I'm working on right now, right? Speaking with the editor, going through the entire like production behind it, just shooting everything, the time investment, financial investment, getting the thumbnails out, all of this, right? You can't necessarily justify my investment in time and money because I don't see any results yet, right? The views aren't that crazy. And, despite not getting all those views, because there's 2 ways to look at this, right? It's like,
either not getting the traction that I want to because I haven't been in the game long enough, right? So maybe my lack of views or my lack of reaping the fruits or rewards is justified because I'm not good at it yet, okay? Or the other way to look at it is maybe I'm just not long enough in the game. But that might just reiterate me needing to improve myself, because the longer I'm in the game, the more I'll just improve myself, right? So the only way out to reap the fruit is to spend more time in the game, right? To consistently be posting once a week for the next 3 years. That's the only thing that you can do. And this should be a testimony to taking action despite the doubt and the fear in the unknown. That is the essence of entrepreneurship and building anything great, right? Is taking action despite not seeing the results. Because the only way you can lose is if you give up. You physically, the only thing I should be doing right now, and the most important thing, is getting this thing out. Even though I don't think the vlog is the best, right, and I can improve something, and the audio is not that great in one clip, and the video and the color grading and all that, and the most important thing is getting it out and staying consistent, day in, day out. The reason why I'm not reaping any fruits is because I haven't been working long enough in the field. That's the main thing. So I just need to put my head down, keep on working. This is a note to myself, and this might add some value to any one of you guys listening. If you're thinking of building anything great and you're not seeing any results just yet, it's exactly in this time where you are building essentially the fruit, right? You yield the fruit or the results off of the back of putting in the work in the times that you saw nothing and that no one saw anything. There's no gratitude and no one sees nothing and no views and whatever. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that serves you.